Hello and welcome to another episode of the Couch Talk, the very first episode of 2024. I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that this year is going to be a blessed one and successful um, year. And yeah, we had some Premier League fixtures that we need to look at. Um, some really important results for certain teams. And I feel like I always start off with like bad news for Man United fans. Like I don't mean to, but like your club is making me do this. Um, so yeah, let's start off with Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. Manchester United going down 2-1 to Forest. Um, yeah, the Forest new manager bounce continues, man. I spoke about it last time, and it seems like it's just continuing again. Nottingham Forest playing positive football, I would say. Um, and Man United, the slump continues in the Premier League. It's not been a good season. Um, and like, here's an interesting stat that sounds really fake, but it's not. Um, Luton has scored more goals than Manchester United this season in the Premier League, and that says a lot of what's happening at Manchester United. When Luton is scoring more goals than you, and Manchester United as such a big institution, there's something terribly wrong. Yeah, another loss for Eric Ten Hag. Um, and I made a video and I did an episode on whether managers should be sacked after a few poor results. But this is now not a few poor results anymore. This is becoming somewhat of a crisis for Manchester United. And I have a question for Man United fans, and if you guys can leave a comment and whatever, let me know. But I feel like Eric Ten Hag can't be trusted, and I want to know from you guys whether you feel the same way about him or whether I'm maybe seeing things differently. But I feel like he can't be trusted at Manchester United anymore. Um, just the fact that there's been so many falling out of like with players and all of those things. I just feel like the he was brought in to change the culture, and he's probably not changing it for the better. And I don't know if he's a manager who can work with big players, with big name players. So I just feel like there's something deeper than just the results that are not going Man United's way. Besides, like the owners, even. Um, yeah, you guys let me know what you think. But please, Man United. Even my friends don't want to watch the games anymore. So get yourselves right, because like your fans don't want to watch you guys play anymore. They don't. They feel like disheartened every single week when United has to play. Um, yeah, it's become a problem for Man United fans, and when you don't want to watch your team play anymore, that says a lot, because Man United fans don't know what team will turn up. They don't know what the result's gonna be. They don't know what starting 11 is going to start. It's kinda a mess at the club at the moment, and something needs to change. But Man United again losing this time to Nottingham Forest. The first time Forest has beaten them like in 3 decades, I think, something like that. And yeah, big result for Forest. Uh, Going over to London this time at Craven Cottage, Fulham beating Arsenal 2-1, and Arsenal's slump continues as well. I said in the one of my previous episodes that I feel like Arsenal, like people said, they matured this season compared to last season. But I feel like they're just falling into old habits, and they faltered in at a very critical stage in the season. Fulham back to winning ways. They had a good run where they were scoring goals freely, and then in the past few weeks they've just been like just falling off just a little bit. But back to winning ways, and in a London derby against Arsenal, that's a big one for Fulham. This is not a title winning form that Arsenal are in right now, and if they don't change something like soon, then I fear that they're not going to be in a title race come the last 10 games of the season. And to go from title challenges last season to now, the way their form is going at the moment is a very big dip and fall off. They still have time to change it around. We've seen this season 2-3 results and you're back in contention for top 4, you're back in contention for the title. So Arsenal need to get back to title form soon, because they're gonna need it, especially with Champions League coming up now, and they in the FA Cup still playing against Liverpool. They need to get back to winning ways. They need to get back to good results again if they wanting to challenge Liverpool and Man City for the title. Heading over to Anfield, Liverpool and Newcastle are always it's always box office. There's always something happening. It's either late goals or it's loads of goals happening. We've seen 4-3 results. We've seen big results in the past, and this time Liverpool ran out 4-2 winners on the night on New Year's Day. What a way to start this year for Liverpool. Liverpool top. They are still on their way, and that was a crazy second half. Going into halftime, you're thinking it's probably going to be a low scoring affair, but then you see 4 goals in the last 10 minutes of the game, which was bonkers if you ask me. But Newcastle still struggling, still trying to find a form, a positive form, and they haven't been picking up results. They haven't won. They've won once in their last 8 games. Once. And that is not a team that is showing we want to be in the top 4. I know they've had injuries as well, and that does play a big part of what's happening at Newcastle right now. But when you look at the team, I still feel like they should be picking up results. But Newcastle losing out at Anfield, while Man City at the Etihad with a comfortable 2-0 win over Sheffield, who I personally feel are dead and buried. I don't think they are going to stay up. They're just simply not scoring enough goals. They are not getting enough good results to go their way. City back from the Club World Cup. They've strung 2 wins in a row and are still within touching distance of Liverpool at the top of the table. They still have a game in hand. They're 5 points behind Liverpool. Win their game in hand, they're only 2 points behind. And then we have in another Pep and Klopp title race. And we've seen how those have gone in the past. Moving over to Spurs and Bournemouth. Spurs with a 3-1 win over Bournemouth. Spurs looking to get back to winning ways. I just feel like Spurs have had indifferent results of late, and they come across as a very entertaining team. But is it sustainable? That's a big question I ask. Is it sustainable? Can they do this and mount a title challenge in like future seasons? Or is this just like, you know what, we're playing like rock and roll football and let's see where it takes us basically. Bournemouth, they've had good results in recent weeks. But yeah, obviously Spurs too strong for them on the day. And then whether you think they are title challengers or not, Aston Villa, again, with a win over Burnley, a 5-goal thriller at Villa Park. Again, another win for Villa there. They've only lost 1 in their last 16, I think, at Villa Park. They're keeping up with Liverpool, the league leaders, and I feel like they are just playing without pressure. They're not feeling any sort of like, we have to win to be in the title race. You know what? Let's just go out and play our football, and the result will take care of itself. Whereas Burnley, on the other hand, is Company still the man for Burnley? Is he still able to do a job and keep Burnley in the Premier League? Because that's what they need. They need to stay in the Premier League to be able to try and sustain like themselves in the Premier League. I don't know if Company is the man. I feel like he's been very naive going into the Premier League, and it hasn't changed much. He wanted to try and play the football that he played in the Championship, which you can't do. So I don't know if Burnley are staying up. I can't see it happening. But you know what, miracles have happened in the past, where teams go on a crazy run towards the end of the season and they eventually stay up in the Premier League. But Burnley with another defeat. And then Wolves again with a win. This is now 13 points out of their last 18 for Wolves. And I just feel like they are like they're just taking each game as it comes. Everton with another defeat. They are still just above the relegation zone. Obviously, their 10-point deduction didn't help, but they still need to try and pick up points. While Wolves are continuing their good form and are in like mid-table, and I can't see them like being in any sort of trouble this season. I feel like they should push on to try and get Europe even. Like why not? Like let's try and do that. That's what their mentality will start to become. And especially when they're winning like they have been winning. And another relegation battler, Luton, going down 3-2 to Chelsea. Luton put up a proper fight, I must say. Chelsea 3-0 up, and again, like the inconsistency with Chelsea, you just don't know which Chelsea turns up on the day. Um, Going 3-0 up, you're thinking they're home and dry, but then Luton comes back, scores two quick goals, and they actually put the pressure on in those last like 10 15 minutes where they could have scored another one. They had their chances. In the end, another loss for Luton in the Premier League this season. They are trying their best. They have been putting up a fight. They have been showing that they have that mentality of even if we're losing, we're going to try and get a result out of this game. They have shown it in the past. They've shown it against Liverpool. They showed it against City, Arsenal. Yes, they didn't get the results that they wanted in those games, but they have been showing that they can put up a fight against the bigger teams in the Premier League. Chelsea, I just don't know where they stand at the moment. Like, what's their philosophy? What are they trying to achieve? Because it's going to be another season without European football, most likely going to be. I just don't know what they're trying to achieve at the club at the moment. They're talking about new signings again. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Chelsea fans, you guys can tell me because I know you guys have been frustrated with your club as well. So yeah. Um, Palace getting the win over Brentford. Brentford again struggling, and it's been quite a while now that they have been struggling. Thomas Frank, he has to find some formula to try and get the wins going and like get good results, turn the tide a little bit. Um, Palace have seemed to turn a corner. Um, they have gotten this win now and obviously propelled them up the table a bit because 3 points is massive when you're in the bottom like 7 in the Premier League, and Roy Hodgson will be happy with a win. Palace have been playing decent football, they just haven't gotten the results, and now they have the result. They need to kick on and improve on that result. So a good win for Palace at Selhurst Park. And then the last game of the game week, no draw. The first no draw of the week, and there were so many chances in this game. The fact that it ended up being no was kind of crazy to me. I watched the game and I was like, this shouldn't have been no. Brighton had so many chances in those last 20 minutes, couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. West Ham as well. Areola did brilliantly. Some really good saves to keep Brighton out. Yeah, really not much to talk on in that game. A 0-0 result. Both teams ending up with clean sheets, 1 point each, and are in a good place in the Premier League. Let's be honest. West Ham still battling for European football, and Brighton as well. They are also both in their respective competitions. So yeah, big results for Liverpool and the teams surrounding them, like Arsenal going down, and then obviously Forest picking up a big result. And yeah, that is your Premier League roundup for this week. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those good things. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.